Okay, back in Frankfurt Messe. Right now we are in the venue of Anya and Otto demonstration. Right now we have Adam with us, and we're gonna have a few questions and some interview with Adam regarding the Anya and the Otto. So Adam, what do we have here in this venue with the system, and what are we trying to cover?
Sure. Well, we have two flown arrays of 12 Anya modules each, and then two ground stacked arrays of 8 modules each. And really what we're trying to cover is from about 5 meters out to the back of the seating area, just where the control position is.
Oh, from the 5 meter until the back of the house. And then are we going to try to cover the upper balcony?
No, they're not using that. The only thing that's up there is projection. And in fact, we have the coverage pulled in a bit because they added, after we installed the system, they added those signs. They were creating an echo, so we used the capabilities of the system to reduce the coverage so that we were not having the echo.
Okay. And then for the subwoofer, what do you have here? For the subwoofers?
So we have two arrays of 8 modules, auto modules each, ground stacked of course, and the way they're set up right now is kind of a mix of output and rejection. So we have this large cavern under the
behind the array, right?
And we want to minimize the amount of energy that's going back there. So we are using the rejection capability of the system to cancel the sound that's going back.
Cancel the sound behind the array. And then why don't you make the subwoofer array? I see here is a left-right subwoofer.
Yeah. Well,
how about that consideration?
That was largely a function of what else they wanted to do with the space. So for these demonstrations, I mean, the star of the show is really the video and the lighting. So it was very important that the solution that we proposed to PRG was very compact. And I mean, as you can see, they have lights all along the front of the stage, and so there just wasn't physically an opportunity to put subs all across as we might have liked to.
Okay, and then what's the best feature of the Otto?
The best feature, I think in this room, it's definitely control. This room is known for being notoriously difficult acoustically. We have a huge dome, a very big cavernous space, and it's typically considered to be a nightmare.
Okay, and then?
So Anya and Otto really help us to focus the sound on the audience and not have the energy spilling up into the architecture.
So the subwoofer level will be very controlled through the entire venue.
That's right, and only in the front, not going back or up into the space.
And then the cardiac feature of the subwoofer, can you explain us? And maybe some friends love to know what the cardiac system.
We have two separately powered and controlled woofers. There's an 18-inch woofer in the front and also in the back. And because we can control them independently, we can apply processing that gives us all the energy of both in the front, but cancels it going in the back. So basically, you have a lot of bass out here and almost nothing going back.
Okay. So I saw a sign here that says subs out of control.
Right.
How do you describe it?
Autocorrect. So it's kind of a play on words. Autocorrect, like like in a word processor. But the thought is that typically subwoofers are, in any situation, are very difficult because the wavelengths are very long. So it's usually hard to control where the bass energy goes. And usually people kind of just pile the subs up and the bass goes where it goes, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. But the thought with Otto is that, like Anya, now you have control over that. So you can say to the system, this is where the audience is, this is where I want to cover. And the thing that's most important to me is getting the most SPL, or the thing that's most important to me is getting the most rejection, where there is no audience, or maybe a balance between the two. And all you have to do is tell the system that, and then it figures out what it has to do in terms of processing to get as close to that as you can.
So for this kind of venue, the Otto will have a great control over the subwoofer range. Okay, that's the meaning of sub-os control?
That's right. So typically, the subs would be out of control. With Otto, we have a lot of control.
Okay, maybe that's from the Otto and the Anya. We will see in the show moment after this.